Welcome. Today is Saturday, July 22nd in the year 2023. And we are halfway between the 777 portal, which was July 7th. And I don't know about you, but boy, did that kick things into high gear. The portal opened up such amazing frequencies coming in from the galactic center that are really, quite frankly, affecting our brains in a very, very positive way, working with higher frequencies to harmonize the brain as it continues to move into higher states of consciousness. And so this 777 portal came in like gangbusters, working within the nervous system, within your pineal, your pituitary, your hypothalamus, all of that goes on within the brain glands, and upgrading them as we continue to move into higher states of consciousness. However, on the physical 3D, it can have some pretty interesting effects, especially working with your biorhythms. It is affecting the biochemistry as we, again, are working with the nervous system. This is an ongoing process. The body has to stay up to speed to be able to run, integrate, process, embody. Those are all words that are expressing the fact that these higher frequency energies and codes that are coming in are truly affecting the physicality of our body. That is our vehicle for awakening. It is the vehicle for ascension. There is no higher states of consciousness unless the body can evolve, adapt, upgrade. And that includes, that includes everything, quite frankly. But what we're working with right now is really harmonizing the brain and the neuro biology, the biochemicals, the nervous system, the vagus nerve, all of which are affecting our patterns and our rhythms. You may have experienced, like I have, since the 777, almost impossible to sleep, averaging 2 to 3 hours a night, most of that interrupted sleep. We're celebrating if we get 3 to 4 right now, because it is really in there affecting our biochemistry. Once we get through this process, once we get to the next plateau, if you will, things will begin to normalize. And I can start to feel that already. This has been, 14 days of massive upgrades coming in. And it really does take time for your body to process. But in the flip side of this, some of us are really not sleeping, but wow, have we been infused with a burst of creativity, energy, going gangbusters as far as our productivity, our creativity, thinking outside the box, moving forward on projects, many of which you probably had to scrap and start over because the energy that was available and ready to go in June is pretty much obsolete at this point. And this is one of the biggest levels of surrender that are necessary through this process. We have to stay in the now moment. You have to be working from the present now to try to revive old projects and things that have been sitting on hold. Many will not be applicable. Many will not be able to make the jump before these 7-7 portal energetics into the now. Some of them will, but you really need to be vigilant in asking the question, is this 100% aligned? with my mission, with my highest potential, with my highest truth, and be willing to adjust, because the resistance to that is simply just the ego. And when you begin to really be able to shift on a dime, I know this has happened to many of you over the years, just like it has for me. You put in, 50, 100, 300 hours on a project, and then there's no energy behind it. It's like flattened. It's no longer in alignment. Sometimes we want perfection. Sometimes we want everything to be just right before we roll something out. And we run the risk at times of losing the energetic alignment if we wait too long or take too long. So as you're hopefully beginning to feel this powerful infusion of action energy, we've been on pause or hold for so long that to have this energy coming in is really like having a cannonball shoot us out of the cannon, because we've just been so on hold for so long. So if you're feeling this energy, or if you begin to, just recognize and realize you need to start fresh. And some of the projects, some of the ideas will be able to make the jump, if you will. Others, you simply have to just bless and let go. This is not about what you want per se. And let me clarify that. When you are trying to drive something from personal will, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do all of us do that. We all want things to be a certain way in our lives. We want to have X, Y, and Z and feel like this or that or the other and go here, there, or wherever that our human personalities have desired. But it's really important now that we've moved into this new frequency, and especially as we come up to the 8-8 and then into the equinox, which is in September. But as we're transversing these major energetic portals, it's super important to make sure you're asking, are you 100% aligned with your highest potential? If you are so inclined, add into that your mission. And allow that to be the driving force, because I can tell you, when you are fully aligned, especially in the energy we're moving into, of such beautiful creation, such win-win, into the tri-wave, which is unity consciousness and collaboration, and all of these energies starting to come forward at a whole new frequency. They've been there, but this is a whole new ballgame, and it will continue to be a whole new ballgame every time we go through these major portal events. But I promise you, if you align to your highest potential and why you're here, your mission, that doesn't mean a job. That means why you're on the planet, right? If you ask to be 100% aligned with those things every single day, and you are willing to drop down into your high heart and live from your high heart perspective, asking sometimes the hard questions, but that's not even really true. It's only hard for your ego. It is not in any way difficult for your higher self and for the truth of who you are. So as we continue to move through these incredibly powerful portal dates, the next one, of course, being the Lion's Gate, the 8-8, which is why we chose to really do this work today. We're halfway in between the 777 and the 8-8. And the 8-8 is always an incredibly powerful portal as well, being the Lion's Gate, one that most recognize when they don't look at the other double-digit dates within the year. So just be willing to really let your expectations from a human perspective go and step in to a higher perspective, a higher level of showing up for what's really going on here. And when you do, everything else that your ego thinks it wants will be taken care of, and usually beyond what the ego could have dreamt with. Because remember, the ego is trying to keep you safe and it's trying to keep the status quo. Don't change. Don't change. We've got this. We know what we're doing, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. The ego knows what we're doing right now. That's where we want to keep you. That's the ego talking. Your higher self is wanting to propel you into completely different frequencies. And so the release of that, but I want, and recognizing your higher self is going to do what is highest potential for you. And that doesn't mean in the instant moment that all of that shifts that you're going to be in bliss. That means that's your highest potential and the bliss is coming. And right now, and where we're moving into and what's happening on the planet and the way that we're accelerating, that bliss is right around the corner for most of us, if we can let go of the personal will. And so as we step into all of this new energy, this creative energy, this upshifting, quite frankly, of our brain's capacity, our brain's capability, the way in which our brain is processing light and processing information to communicate with our body and our light bodies. It is a massive upgrade that's going on right now. And again, the body will react in different ways based upon your unique signature frequency and where your body is in the process. And everyone is in a perfect place for them in this now moment. This is not a competition. It's not even a race, although I do try to keep us at the cutting edge because we are the leaders building this bridge into higher states of consciousness. And so just remember that as you're going through, especially the next 2 weeks, to really sort through what am I creating? Is it aligned with my highest potential? Or is it something that my ego and my personal will is trying to drive forward? And I promise you, if you're aligned, it's so much easier. It's going to be an uphill battle if you're working from personal will. And with that said, the next 2 weeks until the 8/8, stay in your heart. Stay out of your own way and really tap into what the cosmic frequencies are providing. Hi, I'm Raquel, and I am an ascension guide, helping you to awaken and remember your quantum self. I provide a holistic, multifaceted, and comprehensive approach to your awakening and ascension, bringing you to the cutting edge of consciousness while expanding your ability to live multidimensionally. You are a divine, sovereign being of light, and it's time to remember. Explore my website, raquelspencer.com, to learn about becoming your quantum self.